Have you ever wondered how real estate agents can make $1 million? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna break down step by step exactly what you need to do to go out and make $1 million as a realtor. Welcome to this channel. My name's Nicolle. If you haven't watched any of these videos yet, really briefly, we're here to give you guys so much value that you go away, become $1 million producer, and come back to us and go, how in the world can I work with you? So in today's video, I'm gonna break down my favorite book. This is called The Red Book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's the Bible for agents, and it's broken up into 4 kind of core parts that you need to understand. Number 1 is think a million. You need to understand how to think like a millionaire. Then you need to actually go out and earn that $1 million. Then you need to net it so you actually get to keep $1 million in your bank account. And the 4th one is you just receiving $1 million bucks, or other people go out and do the work. You have an organization and an actual business. Now, here's the real reason I love this book. Gary Keller was famous for saying, models feel like cheating when you use them. There's no sense in going out and trying to reinvent the wheel. When you use models, it's like magic. It just works, and it's not cheating, it's actually being wise. So in this business, the first thing about thinking $1 million is understanding the mental models, the different things that go into how you probably have limiting beliefs you need to overcome in order to truly be successful. Now, we're looking at my screen right here, and on the screen, you can see I've got this big giant document that I'm gonna give you guys. I spent hours when I first got my real estate license sitting down, going through this book and carving out every single aspect of this book that I wanted to embed in my thinking so that I could go out and do really well. And in my first year, I sold 35 houses and I made $750,000. So pretty incredible start. And all of that was from following the models in this book, like truly step by step. So I'm not telling you guys to go do something I haven't done myself. Now you'll notice this is broken up into a bunch of core parts, and you guys will have the link. You can scroll right through this and check all this out. Totally for free. I hope you guys love it. Tons of time went into this. So first is visual models. It's understanding the models that make up the business, and I'll let you guys spend time going through this, but the main thing you need to understand is that you don't have to reinvent anything. Part of thinking a million is going, there's other people that have already done it. So I don't need to go and be super creative up front about marketing strategies and everything else. I just need to do the things that have worked before for other people and commit to doing them every day consistently. And you'll be amazed how fast your income starts to go through the roof because you're just following the models that work. So this is showing you that at the fundamental level, you have models, and as models work, you add creativity on top. You don't ever flip it. You don't ever start with creative ideas before you're implementing models, all right? So you can go through, you can check out those different visual models. And the big thing we're gonna talk about today is this idea here that you have these 4 fundamentals of business models. Number 1 is the economic model. The economic model for you is understanding the numbers that make the business work. And I have another resource that I'm gonna give you guys that's gonna blow your mind. So this here is what I call the real estate financial projections. I went through the book and I made these spreadsheets that you guys can use to actually punch in the numbers from the book and make it a reality. So you can see here, what this is saying is if you wanna make $1 million in gross commission income that you actually get to have at the highest level of like making that million, this isn't netting $1 million yet, but it's just making $1 million, you can see you're gonna have about 30% in operating expenses at this size, all right? A lot of that is gonna be your cost of goods sold. And then you can see this whole breakdown of how many deals do you need to do, how many seller listing versus buyer listings do you need to have based on these ratios, and all of this stuff is straight from this book. You can see here's the basic formula of the economic model, and you guys can just take this and steal it and run with it. The second part of this model is understanding the lead generation model. Now, this is definitely an area of expertise for me, and we have entire other videos that you can go watch, like this one right here, where I share in my very first year exactly how it is that I went out and made $750,000 and where all the business came from. So you can totally go check that out right there. The model that it teaches in the book is understanding that your whole job is to own that real estate mind share. It shares this great little graph that shows that at the end of the day, in the mind of the consumer, they can only hold 1 agent in their mind, maybe a second agent, and then everybody else just gets lumped into this 8% of the mind share. So your goal is to be the agent in your marketplace that everybody thinks about. I'm gonna take this a step further. I actually think you wanna really zero in on exactly the kind of clients you wanna work with by year 1, 2, 3 of just trying to dominate. I'm at the stage now where heading into year 3 of my business, I'm thinking a lot more about what kind of clients do I wanna work with ongoing? Because I don't wanna be be the Walmart real estate agent where I'm just accessible for everybody and I own everybody's mind share. I want to be the sole person the ideal customers think about. For me, that's the more luxury market. It's the $1 million and up market. For you and your price point wherever you are, maybe it's more like $300,000, $500,000 homes. You want to decide what the best positioning is for you to be in the marketplace, and then cater your marketing and your efforts toward those people and watch how much that'll influence your business. So with the numbers in mind, here's how you take lead generation and really understand what it is you're trying to achieve. If we go back to this document that I've put together for you guys that's incredible, you can see as we scroll through here and you look at database, this is really what you need to understand is number one, you need to start to fill that database. There's things you can do like door knocking, cold calling, but I would actually recommend things as well like being on socials, updating everybody in your database, sending happy birthday messages to everybody on Facebook. There's all kinds of other things that we break down in various videos, but the big thing is just having a 3-pillar plan, the 3 things, the non-negotiables that you do at all times. Commit to them, stick to them, fully leverage them, and you'll be surprised how much if you're just consistent with that outreach, it'll start to come back to you in amazing ways. Now, the next part beyond lead generation is understanding your budget model. That's things like how do you make sure that you're leading with revenue and not getting sucked into just trying to spend money on leads or being so conservative with the income that you're earning that you don't invest it back into the business, into things like client retention with gifts or into things like having steady marketing that's always going out so you don't end up on the real estate roller coaster. The thing that he teaches in the book that's awesome is this idea of red light, green light, which is really about trying to keep your fixed expenses as low as possible and then having that discretionary expenses that are accountable to results. In other words, make sure that you're tracking everything. So we track every aspect of the business, all right? Understanding the whole think $1 million, earn $1 million, net $1 million, receive $1 million. This, what we're teaching right now is applicable across all those. You need to understand the economic model. You need to understand the lead generation model. You need to understand your budget model. And the fourth thing you need to understand is the organizational model. Now, this is like real estate gold, which is understanding that there's levels to your organization that you want to work through. So number one is you always want to hire an assistant first. The other thing you want to understand is you're hiring for the best talent. You really want to hire quickly and fire even faster if you need to. You need to get people in place quickly, and then you need to train them up to the best of your ability, make sure that they're talented, and if they're not cutting it, you need to move on to find the right people in your business. So here's the actual breakdown on my screen of the 7th level concept. This is your organization. So number one, you hire an admin. Level 3 is you actually hire 2 admins. Level 4, you can see you're adding a buyer specialist, and then it keeps going all the way down to level 7, where you're actually the agent who's now removed from the business. Now you're receiving $1 million from the business, and you're beginning to spend your time and energy building other things. I'm gonna add a caveat to this. I believe at a fundamental level, this model can be tweaked in a couple core areas, but remember, if I'm gonna add creativity, I gotta start with the models that truly work and then add creativity on top. So if you use this book as a reference point, as a really solid guide for you to lay the foundation of your models, that's how you're gonna go out and make $1 million. So to recap here, maybe at this point you're going like, Jake, I'm trying to figure out how to make $1 million, and you gave me these very fundamental things to understand. Yes, there's this big guide for me to go through. Here is how you're gonna make $1 million. You need systems, you need processes, you need a team in place. All of these things are gonna be outlined for you to go through this book, and I've literally given you the charts that I've used, the Google Sheet documents that I've used to have numbers to hold me accountable. The way you're gonna make $500,000 or $1 million is entirely broken down by how many appointments are you gonna go on. In order to get on those appointments, how many leads do you have to be generating, and then what's gonna be your lead generation model, what's gonna be your economic model. You need to just start to actually craft that stuff out, because here's how you won't make $1 million. If you don't want to make $1 million, continue to be more creative than you are with your models that you have in place. Continue to guess and just come up with new ideas all the time, and just change what you do every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks, and just continue to leave people in seats if you've hired people that aren't the right fit. Like, just do all the wrong things, which are not having systems, structure, procedures in place. Don't track any of your numbers. Don't spend time to have a quarterly quarterly plan and your quarterly rocks. So the inverse is go through this, understand this book inside and out. It's a complete game changer. Grab all the free resources that I just gave you, make them your own, and you're gonna be amazed just how much money you generate in this business. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Listen, all the resources are below. Go check them out. You're gonna love it. We have playlists on all this agent education. I've referenced some of the other videos. We have other videos where I go down, like the one I talked about earlier, and I break down step by step exactly how to use that Google sheet to project your income into the future and figure out how much you're gonna make. As always, my name's Jake Nicolle, $1 Million producer, here to help you guys make your first million selling real estate, and I can't wait to see you win. Drop a comment below if you like the video. Cheers, guys.